Greetings and welcome to another edition of Political Empire. I'm your host, Kim Pearsall with the Press Enterprise and PE.com. And today's kind of a Mary Bono Mack themed episode. We're going to talk about an award that she recently won. And then we're going to talk about her race against Mr. Ruiz in the Coachella Valley. So first, Bono Mack talks women. Inland Republican Congresswoman Mary Bono Mack recently won the annual Women of Valor Award from the Independent Women's Forum. She took it as an opportunity to call out her own party for how it's attempting to reach out to women, calling the Republican Party essentially, quote, clueless. She said, quote, "I think we're missing the boat." So now we're going to talk a little bit about her race against Raul Ruiz, speaking of her award. And this is the race for the 36th Congressional District, which has garnered a lot of attention during this election. Here to tell us more about it is our Washington correspondent, Ben Goad. Ben, thanks so much for being here today.
As always, it's great to be with you.
Fantastic. So Bono Mack has had challengers to her seat before. What makes this election any different?
Well, a couple of things. First off, it's a new seat. It was redrawn last year as part of the redistricting process. So it has a bit of a different makeup. It still tilts Republican, though, in terms of voter registration. But Ruiz will be the first Hispanic candidate to challenge Bono Mack, and the district is pretty heavily Latino. The big difference, though, this year is the outside financial support from Democratic groups.
And speaking of that support, so who has supported Ruiz so far? Who supported Bono Mack? Where's that tilting? Yeah,
so the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the National Party essentially, has dumped over $300,000 into the race, either opposed to Bono Mack or in support of Raul Ruiz. Another Democratic super PAC called the House Majority PAC has also reserved $285,000 in ad time. So unlike past years, Democrats their mouths are. This side of the aisle, Republicans appear to be pretty confident. Some groups have come to Bono Mack's defense, but thus far, the Republicans and their allies have basically declined to match the Democratic money. So what we're seeing here is two parties that have completely different views of the race.
And so far, what are the polls indicating? Is that support helping either side?
Yeah, it really depends on who you ask. Democrats recently released a poll showing Ruiz close behind Bono Mack, down 3 points. That's within the margin of error, so Ruiz feels like the race is pretty much a dead heat. But Bono Mack's folks say their internal polling shows him way up. So it's really hard to say. A couple of the political handicappers out here have moved the race from likely Republican to lean Republican, a distinction that basically means that folks out here in Washington think that the race has tightened some.
Interesting. Well, as we get closer and closer to the election, it'll be certainly worth watching. Ben, thanks so much for the update, and thank you for watching another edition of Political Empire. We'll see you tomorrow.